What's up? We are so excited for today's episode because we are sharing the birth story of our baby girl, Lexie James.
It's
So
going to be a
wild.
wild one, so buckle up.
It's like such a wild story. And, I posted on Instagram some pictures of her when we left the hospital at the time that we're recording this, which is also on YouTube if you didn't know. We are 4 days
4 days,
postpartum.
yeah.
I'm feeling so good. She's doing so well. We're just like so grateful. And my mom's in town from Seattle. So we're like, well, while she's with our 2.5-year-old son, let's record this while it's fresh. And because I've just never heard a birth story like this. And Seena has a lot of bragging rights because he actually delivered our daughter.
Spoiler.
And so we'll just
Not
break
on
it down.
purpose.
Not on purpose. We were not the people that wanted him to deliver the
no.
baby. Totally cool if that's you, but that was not us at all. So, okay, let's just take it from the top, I guess.
Yeah, start him off.
So, with our son Brody, he was born 6 days after his due date. I really wanted to do an unmedicated birth. It went super well. We had an unmedicated birth in a hospital, and it was a pretty short duration from like contractions to when he was born. And so our doctors had said to us, often with second babies, they come more quickly. So, they were joking, like, you don't want to have a car baby. So, like, come in when contractions start a little bit earlier. So, we had that in the back of our mind. I wanted to have a similar type of birth with Lexie. We wanted to do it in a hospital again. And I wanted to do it unmedicated with like minimal interventions. So, that was the plan. So, Seena's mom and aunt were in town from Seattle, and my mom had just gotten into town. This is on Friday, July 9th or July 10th.
Yeah.
And I'm getting kind of to the point where I'm 4 days past my due date, and I'm kind of like,
it's getting a little antsy.
I'm really big, and if you've been there, where you're just kind of like, you're excited. And also like, yeah, she's a summer baby, so it's like really hot here in Denver where we live. And I'm just feeling like a little bit over it. Really grateful because if you don't know, we had quite a journey to get pregnant with this little nugget. We had 2 miscarriages and about a year journey of just like negative pregnancy tests and all of that. So like we were so excited and so grateful, but also like just my body. I was just like, I'm physically over this. So anyway, we're playing cards that Friday, July 10th, and I start having contractions. And I'm very excited.
Yeah. You're like dealing the cards and bending over at the same time.
Yeah, bouncing on my like ball, like this is awesome. And I had like the little app that like you press start when the contraction happens. So we're kind of measuring how close are they going to be. And do we have a plan at that point?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So
well, we knew like once they picked up, we would start like once they became frequent, we're like, hey, we should probably start measuring them now.
Right. So, and also I was like whooping everybody's butt in cards, so I didn't really want to stop. But then everybody goes to bed. We go into our room. We start watching Suits on our iPad.
And they're like 7 minutes apart now.
Yeah, at this point. But I didn't want to go in too early because if you want to have an unmedicated birth in a hospital, I just wanted to make sure that we like went in at the right time, that I didn't feel like I got a lot of pressure that I needed to get induced or like I don't know. Like I just wanted to wait until we were closer.
But they did mention last time like this second one will probably come faster, and Brody came pretty fast. So
yeah,
that was always in the back of our head of like, well, you're really supposed to wait till they're like 5 minutes apart, but should we start thinking about like packing up?
So it's like maybe 11-ish or something, and we're watching Suits on the iPad. And I remember at one point I looked at Seena, I was like, there's 23 minutes left on this episode. Should we just like wait until after this episode's done and go in? And you were like, babe, it's time to go. This is getting dicey. Like, this is not going to be like fun. Cause I was like, a car baby, that would be crazy. You're like, I used to be a dentist. Like I can't deliver a baby. Well, I mean, spoiler alert, you can.
I didn't think I could.
So we end up going to the hospital.
Yeah.
What's the stats on that?
We got there at 1.
I was having pretty bad contractions in the car.
And they were going down to like 5 minutes apart, which is like the time. That's what they say is like the time to get in.
Yeah.
So like we got there at 1, and then they put you in the triage room, which means like they checked like how far dilated you are. And, typically you're usually not that far along yet, but you can be as far as like they measure like your cervix opening or whatever it is. And because with Brody, we went in and you were like 1 or 2 or something.
Yeah.
So then it's like
my contractions were really close together with Brody, but I was only like 1 or 2 centimeters dilated, and they wanted to send us home with him. So I was like, maybe I'm not going to be that dilated. I don't really
we
know.
weren't expecting like, all right, maybe you're 1 or 2. We'll hang out for a couple hours. They check you again, kind of thing. So then they do the first check, and the girl's like, yeah, you're at 8 centimeters, which is like,
I was like, let's go.
I think 10 is the number that like the baby comes out at. So they're like trying to get all like the paperwork and stuff. Like, you know what, you need to just go to like the labor room or like the delivery room, which is on a different part. It's not in the triage area. So they like, yeah, we're gonna do all the paperwork over there because like you're really far along.
Yeah. And it was so sweet because our nurse that checked us in, her name was Lexie too, which was, our daughter's name. So I was like, oh, this is good juju.
Yeah.
I feel great about this. She was awesome. Takes us into that room, the birth room or whatever.
Yeah, like where you're going to actually deliver the baby. So like the nurse comes in and they start checking us in there. And your contractions are like really picking up, and like they're like they like make you do this like insurance thing. And I'm like, guys, like how much faster can we go? Because like you need help. You're like, I want to get in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And they're like asking me these insurance things, which we already filled out 100 times. We got to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, can you just fill out the rest of this? And like my wife is like in labor.
For me, like, and maybe you'll be able to connect with this, or if you are going to have a baby, for me, what was really helpful was being in the bathtub, because obviously like you don't have the weight of your own body, but like the warm water, like it just like it helped like really just weather the transactions. What is it called? Contractions. Yeah, thank you. Contractions for me with Brody, it was so helpful. So I wanted to do that with Lexie, but like the paperwork stuff was like taking a long time. And again, I was so much more dilated. For context, like I was in the bathtub with Brody for probably like 3 or 4 hours with contractions, and we'll get to the actual story, but with her like 30-ish minutes. So like a very drastic like level of intensity. So I was like looking at Seena, I'm like, get these people moving, like, and I actually was telling you, even at that time, I felt so much more at peace with it. Like it's almost like being a second time mom, given, I'm only 4 days postpartum right now, but like, it's just, I felt like so much more comfortable and confident. I've done this before. And also just having in the back of my head, I had done an unmedicated birth in a hospital before. So like, I felt really capable, but the contractions were so much more intense at that point. And I wasn't in the bathtub yet, that I was like looking at, like, we got to get me in there. Otherwise, like this could be treacherous. So
we got into that room at 1:45 and we got into the bathtub at like
2:15, 2:20
ish. Yeah. So you're like, and then you're starting to feel better with like the back pain, like at least that's like off, but like the contractions are getting pretty intense, like faster than they did with Brody, because I could see it on your face.
Well, and I remember one time I was holding on to Seena's hand and I was grabbing like your thumb or one of your fingers.
Yeah.
And I watched you, like, after I was like, had the contraction, I looked at his face and he was like shaking off his hand. But I was like, if this guy says that his hand hurts, he is about to get murdered.
I wasn't going to bring that
but
up.
You were like shaking off your hand. And I was like, I'm like holding on pretty tight. And I mean, I looked at you at one point and I was like, shit, like this is so much harder.
Plus, I saw it on your face.
Than I thought it was going to. I was almost like, was I delusional last time? Like I forgot, like, you like black out of like the first pregnancy or the first delivery. And I was like, man, this actually feels a lot harder. And then at, let's say 2:50 ish, I have a contraction that is so painful and so insane. I like feel like my body is just like, oh, like I don't even know how to describe it. And I like grab onto Seena's hand, and what happens is the entire sack comes out of my body with Lexie in the sack. It's called caul, ENCAUL. If you want to Google it, like Google image it, it's literally like, picture if you have like an egg and you hard boiled it and you peel off the shell of the egg and then it's like translucent and you could see what's inside the egg. That's how Lexie was born. She literally comes out fully in the sack. I wasn't pushing, it was just a contraction, literally just like shoves out. And this is, we found out later, this is 1 in 80,000 births come out caul. That's one crazy part. The other crazy part is this man has the instinct to catch the sack.
Well, and the other thing is it's underwater.
Yeah.
Because we're in the bathtub. So not only does it come out in the sack, but it's also underwater, because I see all of a sudden this like, because it's kind of dark in the room, but this like blob come out. I'm like, that's not normal.
And she's almost 9 pounds, so she's huge too.
And it's just kind of like spinning in this egg thing. And I'm like, oh my God, my instinct, I just grab her.
Thank God.
Didn't know she was still in the like the sack.
Literally. Like my water didn't break because she was in it, like when she came out. And there's no doctors or nurses in the room. It's literally Seena and I and this sack with the
nurse
baby.
Came in right before that last contraction to check and said, okay, like, I'm gonna come back in like 5-10 minutes. It's probably time to like get to the bed and like labor. So I grab the sack as I pull it up out of the water because I'm like, oh my God, is she drowning? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like
we didn't plan for a water birth. Like, we didn't know anything about water births. Like, obviously, you can't even have water births at hospitals, or at least not in Colorado.
Yeah. The water was for you to like be more comfortable, not for us to deliver.
And not for me to push in the water. Like, they literally say, like, we will come get you and move you to the bed because you cannot have a baby in the water.
Yeah. So, so I grab her, pull her up out of the water, and the sack breaks. So it's like flying everywhere. But I have her like grasp in my hand. And I just like scream, baby.
Yeah, like scream. She's like, I have the baby. And like the room is really big too, the delivery room. So like they have to go all the way around to the back of the room to get to where the bathroom and the bathtub is, right? So like it's not like obviously they can get there quickly, but it's not a short distance.
No, and like to hear us, like it is like a corner into the hallway. So like I'm slamming this like emergency button that they have in the bathroom. It's like pull in case of emergency, and then like screaming, one hand on the baby, one like pulling this cord, try not to drop her
because she's slippery, right? Like so like when they come out, the umbilical cord's attached and like they're all slippery and stuff.
Yeah,
and she's like 9 pounds, and he's holding her. Like luckily, he's also holding her over the bathtub, which I think was like a very smart, intuitive thing to do. And I'm just sitting there in the bathtub with like, what the F just happened?
It was like complete shock of what just happened. It's
so
like,
much shock. And your body, like, for me, it's like your body just like released that too. So you're like, I'm literally just staring at my husband. Like, thank God he like catches this baby.
Yeah. So like
and is holding him.
30 seconds later, which felt like an hour, everyone comes rushing in. There's like 10 nurses and doctors running in. Some of them with like a real shocked look. I'm sure we looked like in shock.
Oh my gosh. Like, the emoji where they have like the really big eyes where it's like, oh, like that's literally what a lot of these like nurses and doctors had. But luckily the main one,
the main doctor,
she was cool.
She was like almost too chill. She's like, oh, congrats, Dad. You just delivered a baby. And I'm like, is she okay? Like, is she all right? Like, you're very calm for what I think just happened. It should be very not calm. And she's like, no, she's great.
Yeah. Well, because she also wasn't breathing, right? So like we learned later that sometimes like water bursts, it takes longer for the baby to start breathing. And obviously she's still connected to the umbilical cord. Yeah. And like I haven't delivered the placenta or anything because I'm in the bathtub and I can't do it in there. So he's holding this baby that's super big, that's kind of like a purplish blue tone and slimy that isn't breathing. So we're like, is everything okay? Like that's really scary.
Well, we found out later when you deliver in water, it's like a better transition from like the inside world to the outside world, and for that it kind of delays the breathing. But at first we're panicking, like she's not breathing.
Because we didn't know, and that wasn't the plan at all.
So then the doctor's like, okay, do you want to cut the umbilical cord? Like, are we okay? She's like, yes, the baby's fine. And then so we cut the cord, and then she starts breathing, and then like you're still in, we're both still in shock.
Yeah.
But they rushed the baby obviously to like that little pad to warm her up and like do the oxygen, make sure the oxygen is good, which, thankfully everything was fine.
Yeah.
But then it was your turn to like, okay, well now we got to get you out of the bathtub.
Yeah.
And like you got to deliver the placenta and like make sure everything's all good with you.
Oh.
And we're just like complete shock still.
Shock. And like Seena's holding on to me, and then the doctor's holding on to me, and then they walk me to the bed to like deliver the placenta. And like I won't get into the details of that because that's just gross. But like deliver the placenta, everything was great. And then of course Seena is like, I delivered a baby. And all the doctors and nurses, like it was super packed that day at the hospital. For some reason, every room was full. And they were like, hey, hey Dad, like we could use an extra set of hands out here, like joking with him and stuff. And he's like, I used to be a dentist, so I only knew neck up, but now I feel like I'm a quote unquote real doctor because I delivered a baby.
Just getting job offers and all times of the day. The nurses were like, we've never seen that before. Well, they've seen like water bursts rarely, but they've never seen an unplanned in-call water birth where it comes out. Like it was wild. Everyone was like, we've never seen that before.
So crazy. So in caul, like I said, it's like 1 in 80,000 births. So it's ENCAUL. If you or anyone you know has had a birth like that, like please send me a DM on Instagram because I'm just curious if anyone has, because a lot of the doctors and nurse later were saying like they've never seen it. Sometimes you can see them in C-sections because like obviously like you're like cutting open and like that maybe the sac doesn't get broken right away because it
Yeah.
doesn't reach the sac or whatever, but not with like a vaginal birth because like it's pushing through. Like how in the world did this thing not like crack going through wherever it goes? I don't even know all the parts, but um, and they were saying that like it's really good luck in different cultures and that these kids are like super intuitive and like they say like quote unquote closer to the veil of like just more like the like any of my wooey friends that I told about this, they're like, whoa, this is like so cool. And so I'm curious just if anyone's had that experience, like what their kids are like, or like if they have gone through that, because it was so wild. And then obviously then on top of that, 1 in 80,000 is Seena delivering the baby, not on purpose.
Yeah.
By himself while we were in a hospital is also so rare. Like
in the water.
You hear about car babies or like, you know, the dads or whatever, like delivering the baby on accident. But like the fact that it happened in a hospital is just like so beyond what we would have ever planned for, which is just a reminder for any of you that are listening into this that are maybe pregnant with your first or even your second, third, whatever. It's like, we know cognitively, like you can have a plan. You can have a birth plan. Like I did want to do unmedicated in a hospital, which we did do. I could have never anticipated how quickly it would happen. Like we're talking like 30, 35 minutes of being in this bathtub versus like 3 to 4 hours with Brody. So like really big difference, like time from contractions to birth. Like, I mean, even like, maybe I'll share these pictures on Instagram too, but like there is a picture of us walking into the hospital and then when we left the hospital, and there was like 32 hours between those two pictures, leaving with a healthy baby. And the fact that like, I'm good. Like, I mean, we were able to go on a walk the next day. Like I'm doing really well. She's doing really well. Breastfeeding went so well. It's like such a dream, especially like now I'll get like emotional, but like this is hormones and just like the journey of like, especially like the journey to get here and just like having everything go so well in this like crazy story. And this is our like last baby. We wanted 2 kids and we get a boy and a girl and she completes our family. And it's just like such a crazy thing. And now Seena has a really good fun fact.
I've been craving a good fun fact. You know, when you like go to those things and like tell me a fun fact, it's like, I have some okay facts, but I never really felt like I had a banger, you know, like, oh man, like that's memorable. Like, so this is a good one. Like you ran with the bulls and it's like,
that's cool. Yeah. I did that in Spain.
Yeah. Like,
this is cool though. I delivered a baby in a sack.
Yeah. That's good
I think
too.
This is going to be my fun fact, just a different,
I mean, I delivered the baby. Like, you had
the moms listening in are like, the dad show up for like 20 seconds of the pregnancy. It's fine.
This was an essential 20 seconds. That's for sure.
That's true.
Yeah, no, got a great, no, but we parked the car at like 105 and she was out at 255. That's how fast it went.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a part of it was paperwork, right? Like just like the logistics of that, you know? Yeah. And I mean, I'm happy, obviously, to always like, I love talking to people that are first time moms because I loved birth. Even though this was like a crazy experience, like this was the coolest. This is number 1 coolest experience that's ever happened in my life. Brody's birth being number 2, like right after, because this was so absolutely crazy and like such a wild story. And I feel like she's just like, the time that she came in our life and like what she's like ignited in me. Like, I just think it was like the perfect birth story. I wanted her to be born on the 4th of July because I had like painted my belly with the American flag. And I was like, oh, this would be cool. I'm like, you know, at the grocery store buying a watermelon and like my water breaks and like I go into labor, and I had this whole story that I thought would be really fun. And instead, the story is so much cooler. And she did come out like a firework, like for real.
A different type of firework. That's for sure.
Not that we're talking about you. So it just was so great. So honestly, if you are ever like needing a pep talk about birth, like please slide into my DMs on Instagram. Or if you have someone that wants to have an unmedicated birth, like it's really important for me, like as the mom, to talk about how cool birth can be, especially because like in movies and so much on social media, it's just like, it's so negatively depicted. And I'm not saying it's not hard, right? Like it's definitely hard. And you know, postpartum has its own, you know, challenges, obviously fertility journeys, like all of that. But it's so cool. There is no moment. Like, can you imagine you're in this bathtub, you just birthed this sack with a baby in it. I'm looking at Seena like, what the F just happened? And also I'm like, I can do anything. Like, so for moms that are ever doubting themselves, it's like, you birthed a human. Like, what can't you do? Like, I literally feel unstoppable right now because of that, you know? And you, really and cool. You got your own version of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's terrifying at the time, but a really cool experience afterward. Now that everyone's healthy.
So cool. So yeah, any questions or any follow-up, like shoot us a message. Like, again, I love talking about this. We wanted to make a little podcast episode to update you. As of right now, I am on maternity leave. The plan with Empower Her is I'm actually going to be rebranding the show. I have a whole new idea of what I want to do next. Do you think it's going to be good?
It's going to be great.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And it's going to involve a lot more like video, in person, and just really like pouring back into this community. I have a lot of things that I want to create. And I think like at the end of the pregnancy, I just started like filling up the notes section of my phone with ideas of like what I want to do next. So buckle up. It's going to be good. We wanted to share this. There won't be any new episodes for a few weeks until we come back with a rebrand and some exciting news. But in the meantime, I'll be soaking up newborn snuggles. Like if you are watching this on YouTube, can you see this hair? Like I think we got a Persian baby finally. Like this guy's Persian.
That's from my side.
And I'm like, what if she
the rest of her looks like you? But
yeah, like she has my features, but she's got these like juicy eyebrows like him.
Yeah.
And this full set of head of hair. So it's going to be good. Anyway, thank you seriously so much for every single one of you that's reached out to us to just like root us on this journey towards her. And even after, just like saying you're excited for our family, or that you found hope in our story of like, this is a little double rainbow baby girl. And if you're on your journey, we're reading really so hard for you too, because like it's the coolest thing ever. Our little family is complete. So thank you again for listening in, and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
See ya.